Hello. Okay, sometimes I manage to put on my face on for these videos. My hair is always a hot mess, so just deal with it. Uh, not that it matters. That's so unprofessional. That's not what I should start with, but whatever. I'm real. So, who is my child? This is my book. Um, Take me seriously as an author. No, this was really just for fun. I never thought I would publish it, and then I heard about Kindle Create, which is a really easy way to self-publish. So I was like, why not? It can maybe help some moms, teachers out there. Um, and it was a sense of accomplishment, so I could say I did it, and I did it. So anyway, you can find it on Kindle, obviously, Amazon, and barnesandnoble.com. And the subtitle is Finding the Best Way to Teach Your Children Based on Each Individuality Type. If you are behind, please scroll back to old videos. We are more than halfway through the book now. And yeah, it's mostly a personality test, a little bit about astrology and how it affects your kids' learning styles. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. And uh, where they should be placed, a little bit about the curriculums offered and why they should be placed where, and then a little bit about my curriculum, a lot of ranting about stuff because I've been in the preschool system for so long now. I have a bachelor's in human development family studies, so yes, I've yet to get my master's, but I do have a lot of education and experience with child development, so I offer some knowledge there. And this book is just like, it's so small, as you can see, so it's just a little taste. If you want to actually contact me, I would love to dive deeper. Um, I'm always open to collaborations and networking, and you can see where it goes. So, this is my very short chapter on the balanced child curriculum. It barely even touches on it, but again, it gives you um, a little bit about it. And when you buy the book, you get my PowerPoint presentation, which is a little bit more about the balanced child curriculum, and then you also get a private consult with me, and we can explain more and dive deeper. When I start a school, it's going to be way more thorough. I'll have written out lesson plans and all that. I just didn't get there yet, so this is just part of my book, but not the whole thing. I will probably write a whole book on my curriculum later. So just a chapter, chapter 12, the balanced child curriculum for preschool age plus. My curriculum is not the answer for every child, but I try my hardest here to incorporate all of the previous philosophies mentioned and the personality types of each child and create a classroom that fits as many needs as possible. I'm also very into holistic wellness and stress the importance of the whole child before directing, especially their mental health. The appropriate age to start preschool is usually around 2.5 or as soon as they are toilet trained. This is when your child is trying to get to know themselves, their environment, and the people around them. This is when they can invite others into their environment and learn concepts such as sharing and taking turns. They usually don't master this until around age 6 or 7, so be patient. This is when they can practice persistence, communication, making cognitive connections, and service. Much like teenagers, but at a less advanced stage, they are trying to find their identity in a sense. This is when they really need to pay attention to what each individual child's learning style is. It's also important to be mindful of the information we are conveying because they soak up information like little sponges at this stage of development. In a previous chapter, notice Montessori schools mostly start at what we consider a toddler age, but is geared towards preschoolers. If your child is doing wonderful there, keep it that way. This is only for the others who find they are struggling to fitting their child into the perfect curriculum because their child may be different from other children, and let's face it, we cannot fit all children into one bubble of learning. This is the chapter where we will dive deeper into astrology. If you get their whole chart and not base things just on the sun sign, it is much more complex and easier to see how much it actually makes sense, and where I will introduce my curriculum, The Balanced Child, so each and every sign can be welcomed, included, and appreciate every day in preschool. This carries on into school-age children because you will want to stick with the same curriculum that is working for your child's learning style. On the other hand, children are always changing, so what works this year might not work next year. So it is also important to always keep an open, flexible mind. I need to make a little note there to edit this because I promise I didn't keep my promise there. So in the intro to this, I said, oh yeah, we're going to dive into astrology. And then I don't think I do. So, sorry, I'm pausing really quick. Pause. Okay. Again, I'm Christian, so if you go and scroll through my other stuff, you'll see that I don't think it's mutually exclusive, but I'm not getting into that in this video. Okay, so this carries on into school-age children because you will want to stick with the same curriculum that is working for your child's learning style. Okay, flexible mind. We already went there, right? I think. See, I lose my spot. This is not good. Before I delve into the daily curriculum, let us note that most children have extremely short attention spans. So do I, obviously. Some sources will say it's half their age in minutes, some will say their exact age in minutes, and some will tell you to double it. For timeouts or large, small circle learning time, for instance. The Balanced Child Way caters to each child's needs. It is balanced, keyword. It includes an activity for each personality type daily, so each child has his or her own place in the classroom. So, for instance, we'll have like the fire child, or for the Aries, Leo. I'll just dive deeper in this video because I obviously don't include it in the book, and I feel like if you go and get the book, you're going to feel gypped. So, hopefully whoever buys the book sees the video, and whoever sees the book video still gets the book. Anyway, so the Aries, Leo, what's the third fire sign? Oh, Sagittarius, or the fire child, all have at least like one movement part of the day where we go outside and run and play, we get some fresh air, we do a dance party if it's raining, we do some trampoline time. Gross motor stuff is super huge for the fire child. They have to get their energy out. Why didn't I start with earth? Earth, air, fire, water. Anyway, whatever. I usually start with fire because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So, let's go back to earth. Earth would be like Montessori activities. So I would make sure that a lot of my materials and centers are using natural wood and things that, I think that's more appealing anyway for a classroom. That's probably the materials I would use in my classroom is either Waldorf or Montessori and natural wood based. Some life skill stuff, teach them how to do basic things. Like they should already be potty trained. I'm not going to stress that enough. Like school is for learning, not potty training. Although if you need help with potty training, I'm your girl. I did it for a living for so long. Pretty successful at it. Sounds weird, but it's true. And again, it depends on your child which potty training method you should do. But signs of readiness. Anyway, so left tangent field. Yeah, like learning how to zip and button, how to fold laundry, how to scrub tables, like stuff like that. Think Virgo, think Capricorn, think Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So they like hands-on things. They like, sensory things would be really smart, like having a sensory table, with sand or water or some clay or Play-Doh or slime or something like that. Air signs, so we would have to make sure that we incorporate science. So we would do some baking or cooking or gardening or do some like fun little fizzy volcano project, or even just studying bugs on our nature walk, or playing with water could be part of that too. We can do some sciencey sensory table stuff. Air signs also like electronics. I don't really believe in electronic usage too much for children, especially at this age. But you could use it maybe as a reward, like, and I don't really believe in rewards either. I'm all about intrinsic motivation. But if you have to, like, okay, like, because the air child can get obsessed, like, oh, I want to do this science project forever, right? And so it's like, oh, okay, well, if you come with us and we walk to the cafeteria, and you do that well and you come with us, then like when you come back, you can have 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever of your iPad game. Um, that might help. Uh, they're super brainy. Earth, air, fire, water. So, water signs, I would make sure that there's a center for nurturing, like some baby dolls or some Barbies or some dress up, some imaginary play. They're very imaginative, um, very nurturing. Usually, they're pretty artistic, so having some arts and crafts. They're pretty social, so making sure that we have some buddy areas and maybe a small group or a large group. And we're really talking about that social emotional development, right? So we're doing puppet stories about um, maybe the bully in class, or not naming the bully in class, but problem solving through it, or um, talking about our feelings, like having a feelings chart about, like, oh, I'm feeling really mad right now about this, or I'm feeling really sad about this. Okay, what will make me happy? And like really just naming their feelings and talking through it. You have to do that with the water signs. So in my school, in my curriculum, I really just make sure that I hit all those areas, right? Something that Head Start I found is really good about is those ASQs, right? So they are constantly scoring, observing, tracking kids' development, making sure they're up to par. They kind of work hand in hand with pediatricians and the parents, setting goals. And so they do have a wide variety, and they make sure to hit all those areas in their lesson plans. And they have the staffing usually, hopefully, like, um, they try to make sure that there's an extra assistant in the class so that those can be implemented, which is great. I used to not be a huge fan of Head Start, honestly. I don't like anything government run. I don't like, the crap government food that they put in our kids' bodies. And I don't like the, pushing vaccines and gender weirdness and the inclusion and equity and Black Lives Matter. Like, I am not racist, okay? Let's be real here. I love every single color, okay? I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm colorblind. I believe in the whole rainbow of people, okay? Um, I just think that it is confusing children, and we're giving them adult complex um, concepts that are hard for a child's mind to process. It's even hard for adults to figure out. So I think it's just adding to the confusion, and it's distracting to the classroom. And what we should be focusing on is curriculum, academics, and really, honestly, God. Like, they should have never taken the Bible out of schools. That was the original school, was through church, and I think like putting God behind everything just makes life easier and better, and can solve so many problems. And call me preachy, don't believe me, that's fine, but that's just where I stand. So that's the only reason why I'm not still 100% bought into that system, because it's very secular. And yes, it includes everybody, but I believe in the purpose of praying before your meals and blessing your food, and um, stuff like that, that they don't really allow in these schools. So to each their own, but there's my little rant and rave for the day. Um, uh, okay, it not only teaches children balance, but also helps them accept others for their differences and become open to trying new things. If a philosophy is too extreme on one side of the pendulum or the other, children stay stuck in one way of learning. If you're not growing and taking steps forward, you are regressing or taking steps backward. You also learn from teaching. So when one child can teach others their skill, they are learning more and building work ethic and confidence in having a niche. So that's another thing is Montessori is great about the older child teaching the younger child. That not only gives the older child confidence, it it helps the younger child absorb more, because they want to learn more from their peers than an adult, telling them what to do. It helps the older child absorb more as they're teaching. That absorbent mind is like, you know, if you are teaching it, you actually absorb it more, um, and practice it. Uh, and it's kind of like a sibling thing. I noticed that my older child did it with her little sibling naturally. People are like, "Why are you forcing her to play mom?" And I'm like, "I'm not. She just wants to. It like comes inherently in her, like biological DNA. She wants to like, and she loves it, and she's great at it, and that's just how I think we're born." Um, and also ateliers. Ateliers are great, and that is what I explained, I think, in Reggio Emilia, and which also incorporates all these different areas. It's one of my favorite philosophies. But atelier is like that specialty, right? So um, maybe one kid is in gymnastics class and they want to teach us all how to do a somersault. That is a great activity for like um, outside, to get them all engaged and involved and not just sitting there in the rain um, or even in the sun. Some kids just sit there and they hang on their teacher. It's like, oh, let's get them involved. Let's get them to do something. I do believe that the parent or the teacher or adult should be more the observer and not like play with the kids the whole time. I think that they need uninterrupted play on their own and not be micromanaged. But if you do need to direct an activity to just get them going, then that's great. Like, take that kid. Oh, what did you learn in gymnastics last night? You want to show us the somersault? And then, like, all the other kids get into it and learn how to do it. So that boosts that kid's confidence. All the other kids learn another skill. And it's just a win win all around. So, um, and also empower your teachers, right? So if you're an owner or a director and you hire a teacher who's a ballet teacher, like I used to always love that. I could do like a little small group lesson of ballet and it made me feel special. So like keep your staff feeling special too and different. You know, we each have our unique skills we can bring to the table. Um, the only thing I will admit my curriculum does not currently offer is translation in other languages. I'm really bad at that. I'm learning Spanish. I'm like not even halfway there to be bilingual, but I'm getting there. I know the basic phrases, important ones. If your child's native language is other than English, or you want them to learn other languages, I suggest you take them to a school that offers that option or get side tutoring for that. Head Start is getting better and better and better about offering different languages. They have Arabic, they have Russian, they have translators. Um, so that is another great resource. Public schools also do that a lot once they're in elementary. Um, we do teach on culture, however, which includes some basic phrases from all over the world. And we do, my favorite thing is to do like a culture study and like travel the world, right? So we'll travel to a different area every month or something. And we'll like, oh, we're in Mexico. Okay, we're going to have some tacos. We're going to do some virgin margaritas. We're going to play some salsa music. I'm going to teach you some salsa. Um, and just dive into that culture. It's really fun. Uh, and so on, depending on the country. So let me know what you think. I'm sorry I kind of rambled and went off everywhere, on and on. Um, but I hope that I elaborated more than that book does, and I'm definitely going to get on it and type up a new edition soon. It's still a great book. I'm not denying that. I just want to be open and honest that it is my rough draft first copy. I kind of rushed it. I mean, I didn't rush it because it took me a long time to write it. I was a new mom. But the publishing, I wanted to get it out there. I just felt so called to get it out there. And so now that I can get it out there here, I feel like I have some more time to work on more details on the actual book, maybe plural books, and hopefully someday start a school, and then it'll blow up from there. So let me know if you want a part of it. Let me know if you have any ideas, like people out there that maybe own a nonprofit or an LLC, or tell me what route you would go. Like, what are even the first steps you can take? Like, I'm in such beginning stages that I really would love to talk to people and pick your brain, you professionals out there. How do I get this out there into the community? How do I know that there's preschool programs to help you start your own school and I actually bought one book that it teaches you how to enroll and start your school, and each state is different, so I have to look into my state regulation rules and licensing. There's a lot on her curriculum though, so like I would just want to put my own twist and my own curriculum in it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm open. Constructive criticism, just be nice, and let's do this. And if you do this, if you take some of this info and you take off and do it, let me know about it. I want to hear all about it. Okay, bye for now.